Welcome to the Madison Miller Podcast. Today is Tuesday, April 30th, 2024. Last day of April. My goodness. NBA and Stanley Cup playoffs, MLB soccer portfolio, Idol, Masked Singer from Wednesday, news and notes and best bet. Don't worry, the draft recap's probably going to be tonight. NBA playoffs is where it'll begin. We have results to talk about. We have 3 more game 5s tonight. Alright. Game 4, Celtics over the Heat, 102-88 to take a commanding 3-1 series lead. Thunder over the Pelicans, 97-89 to complete the sweep. Nuggets over the Lakers, 108-106. Alright. So, 7 o'clock, TNT, Sixers, Knicks, Game 5. My line's the Knicks by 4.5, total 222 and 19/20. And it is 4 and 203.5. Love the over. Someone's going to get hot from 3 in this game. Whether it's Dante DiVincenzo or Tyrese Maxey, Campaign, Bogdanovic is out for the Knicks, so he doesn't count. Could be anybody. So we're going to take the over. 8 o'clock, NBA TV, Magic Cavs. My line's the Cavs by 3.5, total 219.5. And it's 5 and 202. Absolutely love the over in this as well. I would lean Orlando spread. In the other game, I would lean Knicks spread if I had to. But I probably will bet Knicks alternate spread to hedge my Knicks in 6 bet. And I probably will bet a Cavs alternate spread to hedge an Orlando series bet that I have going. The 9:30 Game 5 Pacers Bucks, so it's all Eastern Conference. My line, Pacers by a whopping 10, total 238 and 9/10. Miss 4 and 216. I know the two guys are out, but Indy's a running gun up and down the court team. And they don't play any defense either. So I would take the over here. But I also would lay the 4 at Indy. And would take Indy on an alternate because I had Indy in 6 for the series. Alright. NHL. Stanley Cup playoffs. We'll go over the results from last night. Look ahead to today. Game 5, Panthers over the Lightning 6-1 to win the series in 5. That was a correct series pick that I had. That and the Thunder, I hit both of those last night. And then the Stars beat the Golden Knights 4-2 to even up this baby at 2 apiece. All right, 4 games tonight, 7 o'clock on ESPN. Game 5, Leafs Bruins. Bruins can close it out, and it'll be yet another dismal series loss for the Leafs. Or will the Leafs begin a comeback? Bruins minus 160. Leafs plus 132. Over under 5.5. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Leafs plus 1.5 is minus 205. Bruins minus 1.5 is plus 168. This is a hard one. But I'm going to go Bruins in regulation at even money to close out. And a hedge, I would do an alternate goal line, like Bruins plus 1.5, if that's available at a minus something to parlay with other things. 7:30 CBS, Islanders Hurricanes. This is probably the Kenny Albert game. Canes minus 255, Isles plus 205, over under 5.5, overs minus 202, and there's minus 120. Isles plus 1.5 is minus 137, Canes minus 1.5 is plus 114. I think the Canes close out tonight, so I'm going to lay the 1.5 at plus 114, but I'll probably do a plus 1.5 on a Canes alt, and maybe I would parlay that with the Bruins and some of the baseball and maybe like that Knicks alternate number that I was talking about. 9:30 ESPN, Avalanche Jets. And you would think that the Sean McDonough group's going to do Leafs Bruins. And the Bob Wischusen group's going to do this game. Avs can close out tonight, or the Jets can force a Game 6. Avs are minus 118. Jets minus 102 over under 6.5. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Avs minus 1.5 is plus 108. Jets plus 1.5 is minus 245. My gut says that the Jets force a game 6, which I think is likely, but I like the over better at minus 115. But I would do Avs on an alternate puck line as well, the hedge. And 10 o'clock on TVS, Predators, Canucks. Canucks can close out with the win tonight. Preds can force a game 6. Canucks are minus 120. Preds are even money over under 5.5. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 108. Preds plus 1.5 is minus 265. Canucks minus 1.5 is plus 215. I think this is where we see a game 6 forced. Not everyone's going to close out tonight. So I'm going to say Preds even money to force a game 6. Okay, now move on to baseball. We'll touch on the games from last night and look ahead to tonight's games. O's over the Yanks, 2-0. Cards Tigers was postponed. Make-up date April 30th, so got my money back for best bet. Nats over the Marlins 7-2. Jays over the Royals 6-5. Cubs over the Mets 3-1. Twins over the White Sox 3-2. Rays over the Brewers 1-0. Angels over the Phillies 6-5. Mariners over the Braves 2-1. Reds over the Padres 5-2. Dodgers over the Diamondbacks 8-4. And the A's over the Pirates 5-1. All right, 3:30 of the Cardinals at the Tigers. Kyle Gibson and Jack Flaherty. This is doubleheader game 1. Tigers minus 120. Cards plus 102 over under 8.5. Overs even money. Unders minus 122. Cards minus 1.5 is plus 176. Tigers plus 1.5 is minus 215. I like the over at even money. 6:30 Yanks O's. Nestor Cortez, Dean Kremer. Yanks minus 122. O's plus 104 over under 9 minus 110 each way. Yanks minus 1.5 is plus 134. O's plus 1.5 is minus 162. I still like the under. I think both of these teams have low-scoring pitching games. Rockies Marlins. Ryan Feltner and Sixto Sanchez. Marlins minus 142. Rockies plus 120 over under 8. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Rockies plus 1.5 is minus 192. Marlins minus 1.5 is plus 190 or plus 158. I like the over. Both these teams are terrible. A lot of offense. Doubleheader game 2. Tigers hosting the Cards. Steven Matson, we don't know, is going for Detroit. Tigers minus 112. Cards minus 104 over under 8.5. Overs minus 104. Unders minus 118. Cards minus 1.5 is plus 146. Tigers plus 1.5 is minus 176. Cards favored on the run line. Tigers favored on the money line here. I'm going to go with another over. 7 o'clock, Royals, Blue Jays, Cole Ragans, and Jose Barrios. Jays, minus 138. Royals, plus 118 over under 7.5. Overs, minus 122. Unders, even money. Royals, plus 1.5 is minus 24. Jays, minus 1.5 is plus 52. We're going under even money. If that goes up to 8, that's going to be a consideration for best bet. Cubs, Mets. Javier Azad, Shalmanaya. Mets minus 126, Cubs plus 108 over under 7, overs minus 118, unders minus 104. Cubs minus 1.5 is plus 168, Mets plus 1.5 is minus 5. Cubs favored on the run line, Mets favored on the money line. This is a little bit of a tricky one. I'm going to go with the under at minus 104. Okay, next is Giants Red Sox from Fenway. Logan Webb, Cooper Criswell. Giants minus 138, Red Sox plus 118 over under 8, overs minus 8, unders minus 112. Giants minus 1.5 is plus 118, Red Sox plus 1.5 is minus 142. I'm going to go with the under, too, in this one. All these cold weather spots are just auto unders. Twins, White Sox. Simeon, Woods, Richardson, and Michael Soroka. Twins minus 166, White Sox plus 140, over under 8.5, overs minus 115, unders minus 105. Twins minus 1.5 is minus 106, White Sox plus 1.5 is minus 113. Twins run line. Rays, Brewers. Tyler Alexander and Freddie Peralta. Brewers minus 174, Rays plus 146, over under 7.5, minus 110 each way. Rays plus 1.5 is minus 156, Brewers minus 1.5 is plus 130. I like the over. 8 o'clock, Nats, Rangers. Mackenzie Gore and John Gray. Rangers minus 156. Nats plus 132. Over under 8.5. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Nats plus 1.5 is minus 166. Rangers minus 1.5 is plus 138. This is going to be in... I'm going to go with the under in this one. Guardians Astros. Carlos Carrasco and Hunter Brown. Astros minus 166. Guardians plus 140. Over under 9. Overs minus 112. Unders minus 108. Guardians plus 1.5 is minus 146. Astros minus 1.5 is plus 122. I don't understand why these lines are being priced like it's 2019. I'm taking the Guardians at plus 140. I almost said Astros, but it cut off like ass. Oops. But yeah, the Astros are ass this year. 9-19. Phil's Angels at 9:30. Spencer Turnbull and Tyler Anderson. Phillies minus 142. Angels plus 120 over under 8.5. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Phillies minus 1.5 is plus 110. Angels plus 1.5 is minus 132. I like the under at even money. Braves Mariners. Reynaldo Lopez and Luis Castillo. Braves minus 126. Mariners plus 108. Over under 7. Overs minus 122. Unders even money. Braves minus 1.5 is plus 136. Mariners plus 1.5 is minus 164. I'm going to take that under as well. Reds Padres. Nick Martinez, Yu Darvish. Padres minus 144. Reds plus 122 over under 7.5. Overs minus 120. Unders minus 102. Reds plus 1.5 is minus 78. Padres minus 1.5 is plus 46. I'm going with the Reds. Plus 122. Dodgers D-backs. Landon Knack and Jordan Montgomery. Dodgers minus 112. D-backs minus 104 over under 9.5. Overs minus 115. Unders minus 105. Dodgers minus 1.5 is plus 36. D-backs plus 1.5 is minus 64. I'm going with the D-backs at home minus 104 with Montgomery. And then Pirates A's. Mitch Keller, Alex Wood. Pirates minus 136. A's plus 116 over under 7.5. Overs minus 105. Unders minus 115. Pirates minus 1.5 is plus 32. A's plus 1.5 is minus 160. I'm going with the over in this one as well. Okay, now we'll move on to soccer. We will go over the results from yesterday, look ahead to Champions League and other things that are going on today. La Liga yesterday, Barcelona over Valencia 4-2. Serie A yesterday, Genoa over Cagliari 3-0. I don't think we had ELC yesterday, but we did. Leicester over Preston 3-0, and then today we have at 3 o'clock Coventry and Ipswich. Ipswich is in third. Good position for promotion playoffs. And Coventry is in ninth. So it looks like they'll be back in the ELC. Ipswich minus 155, Coventry plus 340, draw plus 310. We're going over 3.5 goals at plus 132. We have an abandoned game in MLS. Philly, Seattle from Subaru Park in Philly. I should say Chester. It looks like we don't have any betting stuff on it, but I bet you either Philadelphia wins or this is going to be a draw. All right, Champions League semifinals, first leg, Bayern, Real Madrid. Real Madrid from La Liga. and Bayern from Bundesliga. Should be an awesome game. Bayern's plus 120, Real Madrid's plus 210, Draws plus 260. I'm going with Bayern at plus 120 at home. 3 o'clock, Dortmund, PSG. PSG from League One and Dortmund from Bundesliga. So 2 Bundesligas, a League One, and an La Liga left in the Champions League. And where things stand right now in Bundesliga, Dortmund slated for Europa League. They have to win a couple to get back to the Champions League. So this is important for Dortmund here. Why don't I see this line? Oh, wait, this is Wednesday. That's why. All right, we'll preview and pick that game on Wednesday. I'm stupid. Sorry, guys. CONCACAF. Today's semifinals, 9:15 Pachuca and America. So it's a battle of Liga MX here in the CONCACAF semifinal. Pachuca plus 190, America plus 120, draw plus 240. America's the better team. I'm taking them at plus 120. And the Saudi Kings Cup. The semifinal, 2 o'clock, Al Ittihad and Al Hilal. We don't have odds for that. But I'm going to say Al Hilal wins the semifinals here. All right, now we'll move on to the portfolio. I want to be a little greedy and lay 1/10 of a unit on a pick. Now would be a good time to find some value in MLB awards. Early in the season, everyone's paying attention to hockey and basketball, maybe even the Champions League as well. Kentucky Derby is this week. Don't forget, we'll have Jeff Burns art for the tradition like no other coming up on Thursday, so that's going to be fun. All right. So I'm looking at National League odds and American League odds right now. You can get value on a couple of these teams, but I don't know if I'm willing to pull the trigger or not. Awards is always the fun market. Manager of the year, there's no value in any of these. That's a situation where you could parlay. Rookie of the year is somewhere you can find value. The Cy Youngs, with pitchers off to good starts this year. And there's a lot of pitchers with ERAs in the ones. And I'm going to pull up the ERA leaders right now. But there's other stats that matter, like WHIP and things like that. But I'm looking at a lot of pitchers that have ERAs that are low. The favorite right now is Tariq Skubal at 3-1. Corbin Burns is plus 350 in the American League. The National League, the favorite is Zach Wheeler at 3-1. Ranger Suarez, who at least a National League ERA, is 14-1. I think you could get other pitchers with better odds. So someone I'm looking at is San Francisco's Jordan Hicks. He's 45-1. I mean, where there's actually value, Carlos Rodon's ERA is 2.48. He is 15-1 to win the Comeback Player of the Year. So that's something to note. And he's 50-1 to win the Cy Young. Same as Justin Verlander, which is crazy. Cutter Crawford, who is a 1.35 ERA, is 50-1 to win the Cy Young, too. You could throw darts at a lot of these. Ronel Blanco's 130-1. He is an ERA of 1.65. Garrett Cole's sitting there at 200-1, which is insane. Seth Lugo's 45-1. So I think the play is to bet Carlos Rodon as the Comeback Player of the Year, banking on him not to get hurt. He's 15-1 and will lay a tenth of a unit on it for Carlos Rodon to win the American League Comeback Player of the Year. He was the favorite before the season. Now he's 15-1. Explain that to me. And Mike Trout is a plus 150 favorite. Plus 125 favorite, which is insane. I love Mike Trout, but he's not a lock to finish the season healthy. Neither is Rodon, but Rodon has some value at 15-1. All right, now we'll talk about American Idol from last night. It was a good show. They did the judges' song choice, which is always my favorite episode of the season. So to kick things off, Will, his 3 songs were Folsom Prison Blues by Johnny Cash, Stoned by Whiskey Myers, and White Horse by Chris Stapleton. He picks the Johnny Cash song, Folsom Prison Blues. That's a song that I think he should have picked as well. It's a throwback song. And it turns out that Lionel Richie picked that song, and that's exactly what I guessed and what Will guessed. Cabrin went second. Her songs were Take a Bow by Rihanna, Traitor by Olivia Rodrigo, and Greedy by Tate McRae. I think she should have picked Traitor, and that's where she went. Both myself and Cabrin thought that Luke Bryant picked the song, but no, it was Katie. Emmy and Jack performed the Lionel Richie hit together, Hello, which was nice. McKenna went third. Her songs were Hit Me With Your Best Shot by Petitard, Angels Like You by Miley Cyrus, and Everywhere I Go by Lizzie. She chose Everywhere I Go. I thought Luke picked this for her. She thought it was Lionel. It ended up being Katie. I personally think she should have went with Hit Me With Your Best Shot because I want her to sing an upbeat song. Then went Jack. Heading South by Zach Bryan. Earned It. By The Weeknd. And Always on My Mind by Willie Nelson. And that's what he picked. I think he should have went with Willie as well. I thought, as the Jack, that Lionel picked the song, but it ended up being Katie, which was crazy. Tristan and Will performed together Luke Bryant's song, What Makes You Country, which was awesome. Abby went next. The songs that she chose from, His Eye Is on the Sparrow, Traditional, Dangerous Woman, Ariana Grande, and Bring Me to Life by Evanescence. And she chose Bring Me to Life, and that's what I think she should have picked as well. This was one of her best performances. She's had some dandies. This was a good one. Welcome to the Black Parade was a dandy. And when she sang Elton John's Goodbye Albert Road, that was a dandy. This was another one. She's the front runner to win. I'm just going to say it. I mean, it's been between her and a couple others, but I think she cemented herself as the front runner last night with that performance. I thought Lionel chose this. She thought Katie, but ended up being Luke. Julia went next. Her songs were Over the Rainbow by Judy Garland, Because of You by Kelly Clarkson, and Because You Love Me by Celine Dion. I think she should have went with Over the Rainbow, and that's what she picked. I thought Lionel chose this. She thought it was Katie, but it ended up being Luke. Then it was a really nice tribute to the late Mandisa, Melinda Doolittle, Colton Dixon, and Danny Gokey, former American Idol alumni. And they performed Shackles, which was a song that Mandisa covered. And it was a really neat tribute. And then the rest of the girls, McKenna, Julia, Abby, and Cabrin, performed Wide Awake by Katy Perry. And they called themselves Katie's Ladies. Tristan, his song choices were Mountain Music by Alabama, Stand in My Boots by Morgan Wallen, and Humble and Kind by Tim McGraw. That's a loaded playlist. I think he should have went Stand in My Boots, and that's what he did. He was amazing. That's a beautiful song he did. Both him and I thought Luke chose it, but ended up being Lionel. Emmy went last. Her songs were Here You Come Again by Dolly Parton, Coal Miner's Daughter by Loretta Lynn, and Suddenly I See by Katie Tunstall. I mean, of course she picked her grandmother's song. I think it was just too obvious. This was one of her better performances on the show. Do I think she should have went with that song? Yes, because that's a wonderful thing to do to honor your grandmother like that. And she must be very proud of her up there. And I'm sure it was emotional for Emmy. But she did a good job, nevertheless. I thought Lionel chose the song. But it turned out Katie chose the song, and that's what she thought as well. My performance rankings. I thought Abby had the best performance of tonight by performing Evanescence, Bring Me to Life. Tristan, I have second. Jack third. McKenna 4. Cabrin 5. Emmy 6. Will 7. Julia 8. And every year, they announce 6 in, and then the bottom 2, and then whoever wins the Judges Song Contest picks who's the last contestant in the top 7. The safe contestants: Abby, Emmy, Jack, Julia, Tristan, and Will. And the bottom 2 are Cabrin and McKenna, who turned out to be close friends from the show. Katie picked to save McKenna. And was that the right pick? Yes. But that's not a good sign for McKenna. It's not. For next week. The theme of the season, and it's a theme around American Idol, the bottom 2 and the bottom 3 usually doesn't change. And the players that have been saved by the judges are usually out the next episode. So McKenna survives. And oh, by the way, the best groups I have ranked the Katie Lady group I thought did the best performance with Wide Awake. Will and Tristan did Luke's song outstanding. And then Jack and Emmy I thought did Lionel's song really good as well. So that's just irrelevant that I ranked those. But yeah, not great for McKenna. And she has to sing her heart out next week in Adele / Songs That Make You Want to Dance week. Okay, now we're going to talk about Masked Singer from Wednesday night. We're not going to preview tomorrow night's episode. We'll save that for the show. Tomorrow. But it was girl group night. The panel performed Wannabe by the Spice Girls. I really liked how Rita Ora was into that. I really do. I just want to shout her out real quick. Miss Cleopatra. Talking about being a part of a group of women. There was a 5 on a die. Pictures of Bette Midler and Whoopi Goldberg. It says that she has a connection with Michelle Obama. And she performed Free Your Mind by En Vogue. The special clues were either Carney Wilson or Raven Simone singing other girl group songs. And Carrie sang out a clip of Stop in the Name of Love by the Supremes. My guess for Miss Cleopatra, Barbara Lewis. Rita went with Roberta Flack. Jenny and Robin went with Loretta Devine. Ken went with Jennifer Lewis. Beats. We talk about being opposite of one another. There was a boarding pass, Christmas bells. They've teamed up. There was a restaurant menu. They said they still tour. And they performed I'm So Excited by the Pointer Sisters. The special clue, Raven Simone came out and performed Weak by SWV. And the hint was on Broadway. I still am going with Steve Martin and Martin Short. Robin went with Brooks and Dunn. And Jenny went with Titus Burgess and Alan Cumming. Gumball. Gumball talked about his wife and how she was diagnosed with something. The carnival theme. There was the moon and the earth. Gumball performed Wide Open Spaces by the Chicks. And then the special clue was Carney Wilson singing a part of Don't You by the Pussycat Dolls, and then Gumball talks about something with Channing Tatum. And that was a fun way to shout out Nicole Scherzinger on the show. Wonder if she'll be back next year, or next season, which I think maybe. I think there's a possibility where it's the 5 of them together, which would be really fun. My guess for this is Lance Bass. Rita went with Aaron Taylor Johnson. Jenny went with Derek Huff. And Ken went with Taron Gillen. Then came the wild card, Seal. There's Socks, Science, Wild Child. Their radio posters was in a famous group, a Snowball. And he performed Hold On by Wilson Phillips. The special clue was Raven Simone singing part of Boss by Fifth Harmony. And he says that Steven Spielberg was his boss. My first thought was New Kids on the Block's Jordan Knight. That's because we haven't had someone from New Kids in a while. This screams Band Boy, posters, radio, Wild Child, famous group. Ken said Haley Joe Osment. Jenny said Corey Feldman. Robin said Sean Astin. Then the SmackDown was Miss Cleopatra and Seal. The song was Waterfalls by TLC. Miss Cleopatra went first, and Seal went second. And who moves on? Seal. And Miss Cleopatra goes home. My final guess, Barbara Lewis. Rita said Roberta Flack. Robin and Jenny said Loretta Devine, and Ken said Jennifer Lewis. And it was indeed Jennifer Lewis. And for the second consecutive week, Ken Jeong was correct. So, Ken, 2 for 2. Two guest winning streaks. So we'll see if that continues into tomorrow night or not. Now we will go to news and notes for today. Post-mortem for the Lakers, obviously. Now the big rumor is that they're likely to fire Darvin Ham. I think that's a mistake. Darvin Ham, I think, has done a great job over the past couple of years there, getting them to the Western Finals, and then so this is Gerard Gallant Rangers all over again. Like this, I've seen this happen before where team makes the conference finals and then loses in the first round. The coach is axed the next year. That was Jordan Gallant with the Rangers last year. I mean, there's a couple other examples where I've seen it, but am I surprised? No, because it's the Lakers and they're a dysfunctional franchise, as we know, sans the COVID bubble title. But this is, like I said, they're a dysfunctional franchise where LeBron pretty much runs this team. And I think they're making a mistake if they fire Darvin Ham. That's just my opinion. And the Lakers are also open to drafting Bronny James as LA would consider helping LeBron fulfill his dream. Frank Vogel to be evaluated as the Suns to take a hard look at whole coaching staff after a sweep. That'd be one and done. The Suns, they're another dysfunctional mess franchise. LeBron and Durant, man. Any team with those two guys is just hard. Because they just get whatever they want, especially Durant at this point. I feel like Durant is just more a part of dysfunction than LeBron. But they're both are dysfunctional right now. Both those teams. And KD didn't like the Suns' offense as Durant never felt comfortable with rolling Frank Vogel's system. Travis Kelce got a contract extension to make himself the highest paid tight end in the league. Karl Anthony Towns says that Anthony Edwards is the face of the NBA. I disagree. To me, the face of the NBA is still LeBron James as long as he's still in the league. Although Ant's making a run at it from a future standpoint. I think that the only person you could make a case over LeBron for face of the NBA is Stephen Curry. That's it. Because they both have 4 rings. Granted, both those teams are a mess right now. So, Chris Finch is to have knee surgery after that collision. Against the Suns, and he's uncertain to be on the bench against the Nuggets. That would be not ideal for the T-Wolves, I don't think. The Lakers want to extend LeBron. This is coming out right now from The Athletic. They're open to a 3-year, $164 max deal this summer. Oh, my God. That's crazy. I know LA likes to take care of its stars. They took care of Kobe. So, I can see them doing it, but that is just way too much money to give LeBron at this point in his career. The Jamal Murray game winner last night was just epic. And good on Jamal Murray playing injured, and he hits the game winner. Didn't even look hurt. The Commanders didn't want Drake May as it had its eyes on Jaden Daniels and J.J. McCarthy at number 2. We talked about Bojan Bogdanovic. He'll not play tonight against the Sixers. The Seattle Kraken fired Dave Haxtell. I think you can make a case this was a mistake. They made the playoffs last year, and then they disappoint this year and fire the coach. That's pretty much what everybody does in hockey. You saw the Devils do it. But let's face it, they had a terrible coach. I thought Dave Haxtell got a lot out of the Kraken. So we'll see who they hire. Maybe they'll go out and hire Gerard Gallant or somebody like that. Or Craig Berube. Anthony Edwards, excited for Team USA, as he's looking forward to talking a little trash. And then KD praised Anthony Edwards, of course. You would expect that from KD. Michigan lands Vlad Golden from FAU as he follows Dusty May to Ann Arbor. Jaden Quaintance is going to Arizona State after decommitting from Kentucky. That's a big get for Arizona State. Nate Oates potentially teased that Bama could be landing Cliff Omori from Rutgers. That'd be a big get for Nate Oates. Aiden Mahaney is going to UConn after visits with Kentucky, Virginia, and Creighton, so that's a big get for them. NFL personnel high on Travis Hunter. He's projected as a major weapon in pros amid new kickoff rules. EA College Football. Each conference will have players featured, which is fun. Xavier Smith rips Deion Sanders, says that Sanders was destroying guys' confidence and belief in themselves. Yikes. The big story from the Celtics Heat game is that Kristaps Porzingis left the game because of calf tightness in the second quarter. But he is unlikely to have an Achilles injury, which is good. Damon Giannis is down for the elimination game tonight against the Pacers. We talked about that already. So Chris Finch actually has a torn patellar tendon, which is unfortunate. Garrett Cole, unlikely to come off injured list while eligible on May 27th. That's not surprising. We're not going to see him probably until like the 4th of July. The Yankees are lucky if they see him before then, let alone before the All-Star break. They really don't miss him because their pitching's been so good. But as soon as one of those pitchers collapse, then you'll be saying, yeah, they miss Garrett Cole. Ezekiel Elliott's back to the Cowboys, so that's interesting. So it's going to be him and Tony Pollard, just like the old times. And Travis Kelce gets $34.25 million on top of his old deal, which is crazy. So the Kelce extension's at 2 years. Jarvis Landry eyeing a return to the league as he's expected to participate in Jags rookie camp. Christian Barmore gets a deal worth $96 million and includes $41.8 in guarantees. So that's crazy. And New England lock it up one of its young players, $92 million. The Vikings are not rushing J.J. McCarthy as Sam Darnold expected as starter to begin training camp. I genuinely think that J.J. McCarthy will be their starter week 1. The 49ers are likely losing a wide receiver as they're planning for life without at least Debo or Ayuk as soon as 2025. Well, not ideal. And they reached for a wide receiver in round 1. They could have traded back for Pearsall. Raiders signed Michael Gallup to a 1-year, $3 million deal. Cheap. T. Higgins wants a similar salary to Michael Pittman. It's $23 a year, but the Bengals' offer wasn't close. You could argue T. Higgins is better than Michael Pittman. Come on. I mean, I like Michael Pittman, but are we sure he's even a WR1? Like, that's crazy. Absolutely crazy. I mean, he's at the WR1 on the Colts. I mean, he actually was pretty good this year. He had over 1,000 yards. So maybe he is a real WR1. But I didn't realize how good he was last year. So, but yeah, I think T. Higgins is more talented than him. That's just my opinion. So there you have it for news and notes. And last but not least, my best bet of the day. Brought to you by FanDuel. So for best bet, I'm going to lay a 20th of a unit. And the pick is going to be the I wanted to take the under in the Phillies-Angels game, but it went up to 9 and the under's minus 120. And that's too absurd. So, instead, I don't want to do Twins run line because they won by only 1 run last night. So, this is a really, really difficult one. I'm scared of the Red Sox under because one of those guys I think could blow up. So, the safe bet is going under in the Jays-Royals game. The Jays offense has been mediocre to below average. Cole Reagans is really good. So, I'm going under 7.5 and even money between the Royals and the Jays for best bet. So, there you have it for the show. And I'll be back tomorrow recapping everything, looking ahead to everything tomorrow as well. We have Survivor and Masked Singer tomorrow night, so that should be fun. Have a great day, guys.